another Ricardo on stage, someone who claims to be the Revolutionizer or something like that.
I'm not sure about that.
Well, you'll tell us. We're all curious. You got a microphone?
Ready?
There you go.
Hi, guys. Can you all hear me? I guess so. Thank you so much, the SPA, for having me. It's a pleasure. I think this is the first big keynote that I do in the name of Revolut in Portugal. So couldn't pick a better crowd, even though I'm not a data science, so hopefully I don't mess this up very strongly, okay? So, Revolut. Probably you guys have heard about it. Some of you have seen your friends using it. You probably saw the cards being swapped around. And for those who don't know us, what we are, the digital alternative to traditional banking. And we're going to show you how we are making this happen. Fiz alguma coisa errada? Okay. So, like I was mentioning, Ricardo, I'm the country manager. I'm pretty new to the company, been here for 4 months. And we are building here the growth team in Portugal, which is basically the team that's going to allow us to reach the very steep goals that we have here locally. And I'm going to get into the numbers of Revolut adhesion here in Portugal a little bit faster. So, but before we get to that, like, what's our standpoint? So we are a pretty new company, 4 years old. We're based in London, but even though we have teams and offices in around 15 locations, so we are pretty spread around. And now that we are even accelerating more with our growth teams, we're going to be in much more markets. We are cracking a few nice, cool ones, like the United States, Canada, Singapore, Japan. So you're going to hear some news about our new markets pretty soon. We have a little bit of funding and a very nice valuation. And right now we have 1.3K employees globally, which is not that big compared with the size that we have. So that's where the data team comes in place, because that's what helps us really grow into scale. And I'm going to once again show you how. How did we do it? So probably you guys know a little bit Revolut more about the being positioned as a travel card, right? Because we offer, like, with zero hidden fees. We just do the interbank exchange rate, which makes it pretty useful when you're traveling, and that's how we were born. Our founders, Vlad and Nikolai, they worked in banking for a few years. They decided to travel for a few months, and when they started traveling, like good people from banking that they are, when they returned, they did the math, and they spent really, really a lot in exchange rate. So they decided there must be a better way, so let's put something into place and build what ended up being Revolut. And that's how we actually started. But then, as we wanted to get deeper, products started to get bigger, and the concept started to change. And right now, our mindset is to democratize access to financial products. The way we're going to do it is by basically simplifying the process on how people use it. And once again, I'm going to get into it a little bit in the next slides. But before we get to that, growth, so how we are doing, since you guys have been hearing about us, this is our global growth. Pretty nice hockey stick, that's what we want to see. So we are at 7.5 million users now globally. And if we dive in Portugal, the hockey stick is much nicer. We are at 270,000 users now in Portugal. Like, for us, Portugal is a huge market. And just so you have a little bit of perspective, if you compare with Spain, in Spain we have 340,000 users. 4,000 users. Now, here in Portugal, we have 270. If you compare the size of the markets, the penetration here is super, super, super high. And part of it is because, like, the Portuguese are super willing to use new products and new technology products. So thankfully, our product was one of what they chose to use. And how do we do this? Once again, this is the first steps, like get an e-money license. That's a no-brainer. And then get into partnerships with some of the principal partners in this area that we should work in now. In this case, Visa and MasterCard. And then the product must be good. So, like, when we grow and when you see those 7.5 million, bear in mind that 3 million out of those 7 were made with zero marketing. So it was all organic. People started sharing about Revolut, sharing with their friends, and that's how it grew. And it grew because the product was good. We are very product-driven, and we are very data-driven in how we look at products. We work a lot with our community, and we work with them in order to develop the products in the best way possible. And this here, this is probably going to move. Yeah, you can see here we have a lot of features. You can disable your card, activate it. Like super intuitive in the way it works. And then we try to launch other cool products to even help our users be more willing to work with this. I'm going to share a quick video. Hope you like it.
Banks have failed to move with the times, but we don't need them. Back in 11th century Italy, merchants from all over would exchange their different currencies for trade outdoors on benches, which is where we get the word bank from, banca. They started as a way of making our lives easier. Unfortunately, this all changed. As the bank profits grew bigger, customer experience was lost in a maze of paperwork and bureaucracy. They invented new and complicated ways of growing their margins, built on hidden fees and taking liberties with their customers' money. But there's a solution. Revolut Metal, a stainless steel card that does more than just look good. An authority to tear down borders, make our finances as mobile as we are. Free to spend in 130 currencies worldwide at the real interbank exchange rate. Think sending unlimited amounts of money abroad with no fees. With free worldwide travel insurance. Think seamlessly buying and selling cryptocurrency in seconds and earning cashback instantly in the fiat or cryptocurrency of your choice. Access to 24/7 concierge from your phone to book what you want, when you need it. For a truly borderless lifestyle. And all this in your pocket. Demand more from your bank. Revolut Metal. Radically better.
So this is our Metal product. We have 3 types of subscription. We have the standard one, which has 0 fixed fees. And then we have the premium and Metal. And the way we work is we offer some of our features to the standard. And then if you want to go deeper and get more out of our product, you need to subscribe into these ones. But the thing here is that, and like our main focus with the virality, because virality comes to the fact if someone relates to it. And that's how we are working in terms of the democratization of financial service. I'm going to tell you a story. You see here one of the examples, and I think this, if I click it moves. Let's keep it here. So you see here one of our feature is the cryptocurrency feature. We launched this a few months ago. And the concept was, I don't know if you guys went into the Bitcoin craziness and the cryptocurrencies like a few months ago. I did. Not very successful, but I did. And at that time, if you wanted to buy crypto, the process was super dirty. Like you had to register into a trader. Usually they were small companies, so you had to do the KYC, the Know Your Customer process. It took like almost 2 weeks to get approved. Then you had to transfer money into their account. Then you had to pay. And to buy the crypto. But you couldn't save it in the trader, so you had to put it in a wallet because it's not safe enough to be at the trader. So you have to keep it in a new app in your phone, which is the wallet, but you cannot actually do anything with it. So we thought, okay, let's try and spin this around and make it a little bit more simple. So we launched the possibility of buying crypto through our process. We already have the KYC done, so people are already signed up and all the data is there. Now people can buy fractions of Bitcoins. You can buy 1 euro of Bitcoin, 2 euros of Ethereum. They are stored in the app, and then if you want to use it, you can just convert it back to euro and do your transaction. So the idea here is to simplify the process at its most. Another thing we launched, and this was a few weeks ago, was the stock trading. So you can buy stocks through your app in Revolut. You just need to top up, put money there, and you can buy 1 euro of Tesla, 10 euros of Microsoft, 5 euros of Beyond Meat, which makes it very simple. The layout is pretty easy to handle. So this basically, the idea is to just simplify it at most, give the customer the most information you can, and let them make informed choices. And then and I think this is like the real sweet spot of Revolut, is the community-driven growth. And we see a lot of new tech companies that are making this in a very right way. I think we are one of them. So I can give an example of Portugal. In Portugal, there's a Facebook group called Revolut Portugal, the unofficial group, which we had nothing to do with it. And it's generated by a few Revolut fans, and right now has over 15,000 members there, where people share pictures of the cards, where they use it, how did it went, they help each other. So we have this community feeling that I don't think the other competitors that we have in the market do. We have a view which is, and this is very normal in the tech companies, it's not competitors that take you bankrupt, it's the clients. So if the clients are happy and if the community is happy and using your product, they're going to keep using it and you're going to be successful. So this is like one of the major steps of, one of the major features of Revolut, our community, the way we communicate with them, the way we share insights, and the way that we developed our product, taking them in consideration. And now, let's go to the juicy part, data. Once again, I'm not a data analyst, so hopefully I can bring this home. So, our data scientists. And before we get into the data science, just to give you a little bit of the mindset of how we work at Revolut. So, we expect every employee in every department to be a little bit of a data scientist. So, we have data analysis tools, which basically allows for anyone to write queries and have access to the data. We try to simplify it depending on the level of the user that's doing it, but the idea is that each one on the departments, depending on the access that they should have, obviously, they can do their own queries, they can do their own data. And then on the back, we have the data science team that is basically organizing this and giving training and providing insights on how to do it. And for us, what we look in people that work here is like innovative, fast, communicable, high-impact people that are really driven to join us and to help us work with data. And especially if you're in the fintech area, data is key. Like there are some studies that basically say that in the next year, data in finance will grow around 700%. So this is a lot of data, and you really know how to categorize it, organize it, and have it in a clear way. So, and this is what we are doing here with our teams. We use from machine learning, statistic analysis, and structural analysis in order to have the data in the best way possible so that our teams can act upon it. And yeah, so these are some of the areas in their work. So usually in each department, there's a data science person allocated to help them do their own business. So we have the platform, frauds, finance, the growth and management, which is the area where I'm in, credit, talent acquisition. Basically, every segment and every vertical in Revolut has a data science team supporting them with growth. And we want to grow this even further. So, for example, customer experience is something that we're working on. How can we better develop the process for supporting our users? And then also using data to improve products like the metal. How can we do it? What's the data points that we should start looking on and working with the team in order to make the product as successful as we can? And then this is it. So like I was mentioning, as a company, like data increases 20x, over 100,000 queries daily in our company. So this really shows that everyone in the company should be very data-driven. And even when we do the hiring process, one part of the exercise is looking at data. We give people a data test so that they can show us that they can really know how to work and process with data. So for us, this is really, really key. And the data science team is the one that is basically giving us all the tools that will allow us to do our work on a day-to-day. And then, like, and this is in more of a specific case, like how do we apply machine learning to a fraud detection? So we don't have something as cool as the Turk that you saw in the latest slide. We have another one. So that's maybe a little bit too aggressive. But the idea is this, is like we want to get together both the technical side and the people's. And that's where things really happen. The way we work with our data analysis and the machine learning, we try to set a basic, complex mathematical models that together with the teams that are working on them are able to see spikes and non-normal movements in the accounts. So the way we work, and if you've used Revolut, you've probably seen, well, for example, I had this case a few weeks ago. There was a transaction in my phone, in my card, that wasn't me doing it. Instead of just going through the flow, and then at the end of the month I go there and I check, the system automatically flagged this as an unconventional transaction, and it flagged it to me. And for me, it was very easy. It asked me, do you want to do this transaction or not? And I said, obviously, no. So it's this type of system that allows this, and it's very visible on the user side. And then we also have other systems that we apply also in the money laundering and other protection systems that we have in place. And this is a little bit the shift that we see in data right now and in tech, and this is what data allows us in the fintech space. So in the past, banks, the way they protected themselves from money laundering and all those things, they have a very complex and a very rigorous KYC process, which is the know your customer when you onboard a new client. We also have that, but at the same time, we have managed to apply these models in our system that also allows us in real time to prevent any bad actors or any situations in our system to happen. So where are we now? What our teams are focused is working on a mix of heuristic algorithms plus machine learning algorithms. So the teams keep developing, and we're never satisfied, so we're always keep reiterating on the process that we have in the way that we communicate amongst teams. And then the idea is to also not only put it for financial crime, but also to understand how our users work and how to build growth strategies. So for example, when you're opening the United States market, like the data analysis are key to see, to set with us and see, okay, what's the best strategy for it to be as efficient as possible. So as you can see, data crosses through all the segments in Revolut. And now, so you've seen all this. If you guys haven't used Revolut, I'm gonna end with a cool note. How can you get your card? Very, very easy. Take off your phones. If you take a picture of this really cool QR code, you're gonna be sent to a link that you can then download the app. And then when you do your first purchase, we're gonna give you 10 euros back. Cool, right? So if you want, make the most out of it and enjoy your card. And I'll be here if you have any questions that you want to ask. Thank you, guys.
Ricardo, thank you very much.